Morning, Patrick. You're muted.
Not anymore.
There you
Hey,
go.
Pat.
Okay, hello, how's everybody?
Good.
Good.
Sorry,
Well,
I am late.
hey, that's okay. The guy that's running this, he was having technical difficulties and he couldn't get in either.
Oh, so I'm right on time,
Yeah,
huh? Well, perfect.
damn me. Damn
Hello,
me.
Mary.
Hi.
This is get this show going. I don't know if anybody else will be joining us or not. But, this is episode number 170, and it's called Your Elevator Pitch. And how is it helping you or hurting you? For those of you that are watching this deal, the people here give up their time freely and they want to help you. You don't know who they know, and they don't know who you know. But I'll tell you what, if you spend some time talking with them, you can learn a lot from these people. And the only thing it's going to cost you is a cup of coffee and your time. It'll be a Zoom meeting and talk to these people. They can really help you. So before we go any further, going to have them tell a little bit about themselves and we could go from there. We'll start with Yvonne.
Thank you, John. Good morning, everyone. My name is Yvonne A. Jones, and I'm coming to you from the island of Jamaica. I talk with many business owners who spend heavily on paid leads and ads, only to see poor conversions. As a relationship building strategist and personal business coach, I help businesses move beyond just attracting clients to actually building and nurturing meaningful relationships with both prospects and customers. So by integrating proven relationship building strategies into your marketing and customer retention, you will cultivate a loyal customer base that drives your business growth. Today, I'm looking for opportunities to be a guest on podcasts and speak on virtual stages. Who do you know? I am Yvonne A. Jones, and I believe that when you focus on relationships, the money will follow.
Thanks, Yvonne. Mary?
I'm Mary from Courage Rising and Story Brand Connect, and I do two different things. So I teach professionals and individuals and families how to work in the world of neurodiversity and primarily autism. And what I do is I help you meet that child halfway. In our society, is these children are taught and trained to be like everybody else. And so they never develop the sense of identity and help gain their independence. But when you stop, you treat them like a regular person and figure out who they are and cultivate their ideas and let them become someone of their own, they actually expand, they grow, and they become uh, more willing to work with you and adapt into society compared to being just taught like a puppy. On the flip side, because of what I do, I could not break into the US market. And so I worked overseas long before I worked here in the US. And so I created a program that helps businesses tell their personal narratives and their stories and how and what they do. And now I'm teaching businesses how to do the same thing.
Hey, sorry, Pat.
Wow, that's hard to follow. Mary, you do some good work. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Dreyer from Phoenix, Arizona, in the United States here, and boy, is it early in the morning. But I show people how to make money, and I do that by using the leverage of network marketing and a company called My Daily Choice to build my own business. Now, we live in a world full of dreams, but imagination has just disappeared. But I do know one thing for certain, and that's regardless of your income, everybody's going to want more. And it just happens, man. Imagine your life better than it is now by taking 3 simple steps. You can work from your home, build your own business, and have the freedom to create a life that you love. And that's it. And once you learn the skills we teach, you'll never have to work for someone else ever again. And that's why we got into network marketing. And I'm looking for a partner. And if that's you, I'll show you how to get started for free and help you get the results you need. And so I invite you to join us. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Thank you, John.
How true. How true. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate that. Mr. McNeill, the
Mr.
world's
Good morning, John.
greatest sales coach.
Good morning, John. How you doing? Happy to see Brother Pat Dreyer back in the building, and hello, Sister Yvonne and Mary. Good morning to you guys. I caught the tail end of what Yvonne was saying when I came back, so I want to get updated again on everything that you're doing, Yvonne. My name is Brian K. McNeill. I am the sales confidence coach. I am the king of the conference rooms and the world's recognized authority on selling services. What I do is actually help people to sell themselves and their services better than they ever have before so they can earn more money than ever before. And I do it through my coaching, through my workshops, my talks, my platform, podcasts, or my books. Yesterday, I got a chance to be a part of an amazing podcast with Miss Kim Jacobs, and it went really, really well. I thought I did a good job on that podcast. I gave great information, but it looks like I'm averaging about 2 or 3 podcast guest appearances a week, and that's good. So I want to keep doing that. My life is a ministry. My life is not just my work. My work is to help people to sell themselves and their services so they can earn more money, but I feel like it's my ministry as well. I just want to lay this out to my crew here, my mastermind team here. I had a situation where I was being interviewed this past weekend on a podcast that was based out of the UK, United Kingdom. And, I'm a believer, and it's hard for me to talk long without invoking some scripture or some believer type word. And the interview went real well, but when it was over, he came to me and says, Brian, that stuff you talked about, how you believe in God and Bible verses, that plays better in America than it does over here. It doesn't play that well in the United Kingdom, is what he told me. And he said it in a professional way. But when I got off the phone with him, I got off the call, I started to think, is that true? And if it was doing so much that he noticed it, do I need to change anything? Because I could speak without bringing up God and the word. I see you shaking your head, Brother John, and I appreciate that too. But I was interested in what someone else would have thought about that. Thank you.
So, just before I go in here, what's everybody's opinion on that on this call? Do you think we should be ashamed of our faith?
No, you know what, Brian, you attract your audience. So I wouldn't worry about it, but you might add to it that, you may not believe in God or you have your own God, but there is a higher calling in the universe. And so you believe what you want to believe, but this is how I am.
Thanks, Pat. I agree. We attract who we are. I agree. Thank you. Anyone else?
My thing is, go ahead,
Mary. Go ahead.
The big part of who you are, and I've been, and as I watch you do these, things and watch some of the podcasts you are on, you are authentic. You are who you are. And if you cut part of who you are out, then you're not being 100% you.
Wow.
You own who you are, good, bad, and the ugly. And as long as you're secure in who you are, and this is the mistake I made when I first started my business was, listening to everybody else and saying and being that robot of being what you're supposed to be or what society wants. That didn't help me. Once I stopped that and I talk a lot about faith because, and what's really cool, and it might interest you a little bit, is the autistic world. A lot of these kids do not live in the world of theories. They understand facts, but majority of these kids understand God.
Wow.
And if you watch some of these videos, there was a 6-year-old, now he's 12. He actually understood and explained the Big Bang Theory, but he did it in a way that actually proves God exists.
Hmm.
And it's really cool listening to them. Hell, listen to my own kids. It's really cool. They understand the levels of the Bible that a lot of us don't understand. And so, you know, being who you are, being able to speak out about that is huge when it to be one authentic, but also, you know, getting people to see it's okay. You can have that faith and you can talk about your faith and still succeed in business and not hide it.
Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that very much.
And Brian, what I would add is that your faith should be a part of who you are. And so it's not it's not like a clothing that you put on sometimes and you take off sometimes. So you're being, as Mary said, she used the word authentic, which is authenticity is so vital today because the world in general has lost trust. And so when people find they may not resonate with you, they don't always resonate with me because instead of saying God, most times I say God's name, which is Jehovah. And people generally don't like that. Are you frozen, Brian? Because you're just yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, a lot of times people don't like that, but that's me. I put it in my LinkedIn comments. I put it on Twitter. Like I happen to love hummingbirds, and there's a hummingbird person I follow. They show beautiful pictures of hummingbirds. That's my favorite bird. So I'll talk about creation. A lot of people don't resonate with creation because they believe things evolved. And so they don't attribute creation to God. So I'll say things like, what beautiful marvel of creation, or if I see a beautiful photograph of a sunset or something, I'll talk about painted by the greatest artist, you know, or heavenly artist. And people might not resonate with that, but the people who believe will. So you can't please everybody. And I certainly do not agree that certain things do not resonate in the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is massive. And so for one person to speak on behalf of the whole country,
You're right.
It's ridiculous. That's his personal opinion that he's casting onto you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
And I think that they end up being uncomfortable with it because they don't know anything about it. They're ignorant about even religion, much less God. They just weren't taught it. And so because of that, they think they're agnostic. I have a son-in-law that says he's agnostic, or no, he's an atheist. And I said, no, I don't think you're an atheist. They said, these kids came from God. They came from something bigger than the chaos in the world. I said, so I don't believe you're an atheist, but I'll bet you're agnostic. You just don't understand religion. And I said, on an overall basis, you've got to believe in a greater being. And he agreed with me. He says, so I think it's ignorance, but it makes him uncomfortable because, oh, those religious people.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing over there, as you can tell from all the riots and everything, they're catering to the Muslims or whoever's running around with the machetes and all the rest of it. They're arresting their own citizens if they repost something because it offended somebody's little feelings. My theory on this, Brian, is SW, SW, SW next. Some will, some won't. So what next?
Moving on.
They're not your ideal prospect. If they don't want to listen to you, tough shit. Pardon my English. Next. Just move on. You got guys in Kuwait and everything else that love what you do.
And you resonated with somebody.
Yeah.
This is the strength of the circle.
In that audience, you resonated with somebody.
This is the strength of this circle because I needed your opinions. I really did. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You know what's funny is I host a live talk radio show. We actually have a network of different shows. And for them to say that over in Europe, they don't have a big faith following, Optimize My Life live talk or live radio is a faith-based organization and a faith-based radio show. we have a good listening base over in Europe. And ironic as it is, we've got a good listening base in China and Russia. So there is a good base for faith out there.
It was an interesting question, and it made me question it too. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Got it.
Thanks everybody for your input there. What I'd like to do now is, for those of you that are watching this replay, pay attention to what these people have to say about their elevator pitch and how they use it. And you may want to take what they say, you may not, but listen to what people have to say. Yvonne and I were having a great chat yesterday, and she came up with something really great for her elevator pitch or what have you. So Yvonne, I'm going to start with you.
And I'm here. I'm just making notes to remind myself. Thank you, John. You didn't tell us about you, though.
Basically, you're right. I mentor coaches and help coaches build their business. I do that through comfortable conversations and helping them fall in love with their prospect's problem, not your solution or program. What do I mean by that? Is people don't give a damn about our solution or program. They want to know, can you solve my problem? When you help them solve your problem, that's when they'll work with you. They don't, like I said, they don't care about your solution. Their big thing is, can you solve my problem? So focus on solving their problem, talking to them so that they that they understand you, you understand them. And when they feel understood, that's when they'll buy. Don't forget, everybody, put your information into the chat. Thanks, Yvonne. And we can go from there. Back to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, John. Yes, everyone. So I was on a webinar yesterday, and it was very, very good. This young man, I mean, I don't know how old he is, but he has done a lot in his time. And I don't think he looks like about 35, but pretty dynamic. And he mentioned he's a branding specialist. And one of the things he mentioned that I took note of, because I was an avid networker before I moved back to Jamaica. Well, actually, before I moved to my last residence in Lake Wales, I was at maybe 3 or 4 networking events. Every week I used to run my own networking. I was a member of 2 different chambers of commerce, and so on and so on and so forth. So I did a lot of networking, got clients that way, loved it. Since I moved to Lake Wales, I moved there the week of the shutdown, the lockdown. I knew no one there, and of course we couldn't go anywhere. So I think I've kind of lost my mojo for going out to networking events. I only went to one, which was after everything, and then now I am in Jamaica. Honestly, I'm not trying to get clients in Jamaica. I continue with my US clients. But one of the things he said was that when you're doing your introduction, your elevator pitch, focus on 3 things. If you want to make a note of it, because I did, it's the PSR, use the PSR formula. That's the problem. What problem is it that your audience is having? If you don't know, ask. Ask your clients, or ask in Facebook groups, or ask wherever you are. What's the problem you have that I solve? Like Brian is very clear. He's very clear that people who have who want to sell themselves, sell their products, he can help them. And he does this with his confidence. Okay, so what's the problem? What's the main point your customers deal with? Then what's the solution that you provide? So it's the P and then the S. What's the solution that solves the problem that your clients have? And the result. What result will they get? So make it about the customer. So, a lot of times we like to talk about, because I haven't been here that much these days. So you wouldn't probably have noticed that I changed my introduction. It's not about me. I didn't talk much about what I do, about who I am. I talk about why I started out saying, when I talk with business owners, this is the problem. And so I integrated the solution. And the result is, what is life going to look like when the problem is solved? So it's the formula of PSR, problem, solution, result. And if you can frame that into an elevator speech, then it's easier to bring the emotional component, because we always want to have that emotional connection. And so if people can see themselves in what we say, then it makes it easier for them to even want to reach out to us and find out how we can help them. And of course, this is from another person, which I tend not to do except I'm in like when I used to do in-person networking, but we should. Is always have an ask. What are we looking for? Who do you know? Because if you don't ask, people won't know that you're looking for this. So it's PSR and then ask. If you have a mantra like I do, which I didn't say today, which is focus on relationships, the money will follow, then you close out with that. I am Yvonne A. Jones. I believe in you. I think I did. Focus on relationships, the money will follow.
Mm-hmm.
I did? Thank you.
You did.
I say so much I didn't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So I don't know if that was helpful for anyone, but that was my biggest takeaway from this event. And I immediately started changing up my my introduction, my elevator pitch.
Great. Thanks, Yvonne. Mary?
I don't use elevator pitches. I talk about what I do in different variations depending on who my audience is. You know, especially in the world of autism, there's so many different variations, there's so many different problems. And so I sit down, get to know a little bit of the audience or the person that I'm talking to first, and then I talk to them about, this is what you're struggling with, this is how I can help you, and this is what, you know, what life is going to be like. And I use a lot of times my personal stories because both my children are on the spectrum. And so when the traditional elevator pitch, you know, you go to networking groups and you literally see everybody reading their pitches. It gets boring, but it gets monotone. And a lot of businesses forget to, one, tell your name of your business, but also, you know, it's like they forget what they do. They're so focused on a pitch that doesn't resonate with them. It's something that someone helped them create. And so it just doesn't feel authentic. So, you know, one of the things I teach is, one, it's similar to what Yvonne was talking about. It's all about what the problem is or what those clients have that problem is. And you vary what you do, but also it's, you know, how you solve that problem and what you've done. This is where you start adding in also some of your trainings or whatever you have. And then you paint that, and I always call it the hallmark picture of what life is like when that problem is solved, and helping them really see that, you know, there is no real problem in the world that cannot be solved, and just helping them see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, so many people, when they get in front of someone, they lose that self-confidence of what they do. And it's just teaching them that you got this. This is your business. This is your baby. You know, talking about it from the heart is the way to help build that personal connection with individuals. Compared to, you know, just going into and I call it military mode, where you basically just regurgitate, you know, yes or no, sir.
Been there, done that part. Thanks, Mary. Pat?
Yeah, it's pretty simple on my part. I don't get out much either, so I'm not in many elevators and making quick pitches to folks. But when I do, it's about I show people how to make money. Everybody could use an extra $500, right? So I show people how to make extra money, using the leverage of network marketing in a company, any company, actually. It's just the process that we do. We have 3 simple steps, and once I show them to you, you'll never forget them. And that's what I do. We have a lot of people making a lot of extra money. And if that's something you want to do, I'll be happy to show it to you for free.
What are those 3 steps, Pat?
Join the company, buy some product, show people how to do what you just did.
Sounds simple to me. Not a whole lot of heavy duty thinking there.
And don't put a lot of thinking in it. That's the whole point. But then once you show them the progression of a network marketing compensation plan, it makes a lot of sense to them. And if you just don't put a lot of thinking into it, like you just said, it's a whole lot easier to do. Yeah, I know. That's impossible. That's your biggest enemy right there, isn't it? Right between your ears.
That I heard a long time ago, the world's neither good or bad out there. It's only good or bad in between right here.
There's
And
nothing big or nothing small, nothing good or nothing bad, but our thoughts that make them so.
yep,
Bob Proctor. Yep.
Mr. McNeill.
Thank you for the question. I need to preface this by letting you guys know that I love, love, love selling. Okay. It's my wife, other than my wife. And I love it so much that when people do it incorrectly or abuse her, it hurts my feelings. Okay. It does. There's so much bad counsel when it comes to selling. And I stand on a soapbox daily, and preach against some of the negative stuff I see. One of the things I really say from the top of a soapbox is I really want the world to just stop with this whole concept of pitching. Just stop pitching. No one wants to hear your pitch anyway. It's a passe concept. If I pitch a ball at you, you're either going to hit it or get hit by it, or you're going to dodge it, or you're going to catch it. And none of those are things that you want people to do with your offer and what you do. So I preach and teach to stop pitching and tell your story. Tell your story, your 30-second story. And if you don't have 30 seconds, I love how Pat Dreyer, he tells the ending of the story as the story, which is the tangible benefit that you'll get with an association with him. He leads with the tangible benefit. Make more money, simpler, okay? That's his tangible benefit. Yvonne, I appreciate your formula. I teach people a 3-step story process, a story process. And it begins with, because it has to start with how do you answer the question of what do you do? To sell, it has to start there. But the way I teach it is the agreed upon problem. If someone were to ask you what you do for a living, I encourage you to introduce an easy to understand, easy to agree upon problem that's solved by your services and get them to agree. If they don't agree with it, they're not metaphorically holding your hand. The way I recommend that is, you know how, and then an easy to understand challenge. You know how there are so many people that engage in business or become entrepreneurs, but they're not earning the money they could or should. And very often it's because they simply don't know how to sell it well. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? You get them to agree. If they don't agree with the problem and you just keep moving on, you're not bringing them along the journey. The journey takes less than 30 seconds to take. So if someone asks you, what do you do? I don't want you to pitch. I want you to tell your story, but I break it into 3 parts. The first part is the agreed upon problem. The second part is to introduce yourself as a solution. Well, what I do is you're only conveying that that problem is solved through you. You do not tell your process. You don't defend anything. You don't persuade anything. It's just telling them that you do it. It's a statement. That solution is solved through me and my services. And then the third part, which is the most important part, is the ending of your story. Why do you do all that cool stuff? You do all that cool stuff so that they can what? You have to say it out of your mouth. If you tell somebody what you do and don't say the tangible benefit of what you do at the same time, like if you just describe it, what you do, or be cute with the answer. I'm in the people business. I'm in the happiness. If you're just cute or descriptive, that doesn't stick and it doesn't compel. If you don't say the benefit of what you do right when you answer the question of what you do, you are committing a sales crime. Because if you don't say the benefit, they are going to hear what you said and lump you into the category of your industry, which is what you don't want. You don't want to put you in the same category of everyone they ever heard of that does anything close to what you do. So what you have to also say is what you do and the tangible benefits so they can earn more money or have a happier life or help out in such a way. By saying the tangible benefit, they attach the benefit to you and what you do. But if you don't say it, they attach the industry to what you do. And I gotta risk being controversial to my friend John Allen, what I'm about to say now. And I know this is going to be controversial to John. So, but he's going to defend himself right now. I know it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Okay, John, brace yourself. This whole concept is so romantic. It's so romantic right now in the social media space about how to sell without selling. Now, I have a problem with that thought. I have a problem with the concept of making sales without selling, because the reason why I have a problem with it is they're saying making sales without selling, which is implying that the selling part is the negative that they don't want to do. This is still shrouding the act of selling negatively. It's painting a negative. Here, you can make sales, but you don't have to do the negative part. So I have a problem with the concept of sell without selling. And the other problem I have with it is it's normally said by people right before they sell you on their program. So they sell you on their program of making sales without selling, or they do really, really compelling sales presentations on how to sell without selling. So I have a challenge with the whole concept. So I thank you for letting me say all of that.
Ryan, I appreciate that. And after Jeff goes, I will be glad to put my comments in there and we could go from there. Jeff, I know you got in a little bit late, so share with us what you do and your thoughts on the elevator pitch.
Okay, guys, what I do, I make people rich and famous. At the moment, in fact, we've got, what's it called now? 15 minutes of fame. So anyone wants to come on my show and have 15 minutes of fame. Think about it, guys. A TV commercial costs you $30,000. 10 radio spots cost you $3,000 to $5,000. Come onto my podcast for 15 minutes where it's all about you and we'll make you famous. We'll put you on LinkedIn. We'll put you on Instagram. We'll put you on Facebook. And, of course, YouTube. We'll put you in front of thousands of people throughout the world and it'll cost you nothing, right? And the more you tell, the more you sell. You want to be controversial? I reckon Brian was full of shit. I only heard the first part, right? I'm old school, guys. I knock doors down. I make no excuses. I used to tell my staff when I had a chicken shop, right or wrong, I had the best chicken shop in Australia, right? And I tell people, when people walk in that effing door, I'm not here to change money for the bloody parking meter. I'm not here to give them directions how to get to Woolworths or the department store. I'm here to sell effing chickens. Because I came here at 5 o'clock in the bloody morning, left my kids asleep in bed, and I don't see my kids when I get home either. They're in bed again. I came here to sell chickens to support my family. So if you're not here to buy a chicken, get the F out of my store. That was one of my philosophies, guys. But as for my elevator pitch, guys, I'm old school. I've done it for 50 years. I disagree with Brian. If you swing at that ball, like I'm a Babe Ruth, you swing at that ball, you're going to hit that ball out of the park, right? Now, like Brian, I pick and choose who I work for. I don't hit them all out of the park, nor do I want to. However, I'll give you an example, guys. Recently, I go to something you guys should go tomorrow. None of you will go. None of you will go. You know why? Because it's a fucking pitch party. It's a pitch party. I'm sorry, it's on Friday morning, my time. I'll send you the link later. It's called the Easy Way. It's a group. Easy Way. EZYWAY. Peel the onion back. They do the rah, rah, rah. I don't need the rah, rah. I'm rah, rah all the time, right? Secondly, they spin the wheel. I don't need to waste my time spinning a wheel for a bloody prize. I can go and buy the product if I want it. However, they then let you pitch to people for up to 90 seconds, 100 people, most of them, by the way, true story, and most of them are multimillionaires. They're big, we're talking high flyers here, but they let you pitch your product I told 20 people last session to go. How many turned up? None. And it pissed me off. I thought, so the world is stuffed. It really is. None of them went. They're all, oh, Jeff, I'm really struggling, Jeff. What can I do? I said, go to this pitch party and pitch your product. You might pick up a few clients. True story, guys. I went to that pitch party. I pitched my product. 18 people out of about 70 put in the chat, I want to speak to Jeff. Jeff. 18 of them. My VA followed them up. Within 24 hours, 3 of those people of the 8 were my client. 5 were on the bloody fence, dilly-dallying, flopping around like a bloody dead fish. And I've still got some more to reach out to, right? But it can work. I read a book by Chet Holmes once. And you got, John would know for sure. You should know him too, Brian. You know Chet Holmes? He's dead now. You know
yes,
him?
The Money Machine, Chet Holmes, yes.
That's one of them, yeah. You know the book, John? Awesome
Yep.
book. The one, and I couldn't, that's one of the few books, by the way, guys, true story. I had back in Australia $200,000 worth of books, all on sales. I'm self-educated on sales and selling, right? My best one ever was Tom Hopkins. He was the man. That's why I made all my money from the Tom Hopkins theories. Anyway, but Chet Holmes had this ad, sales manager wanted. It's an awesome story. Sales manager wanted. So people started ringing him up. And they go, hello, Mr. Holmes, please. And he goes, speaking. And they go, oh, hello there. My name's Brian. They go, hello there, Brian. I'm applying for the job. And Chet would say to this person, oh, I'm not hearing sales. And then Brian, not this Brian, but any other Brian would say, oh, sorry, Mr. Holmes, for wasting your time. You'd probably know. I'm sorry I wasted your time, sir. And off they'd go. Whereas Brian or Jeff would come back and say, what, are you fucking deaf? And that's the guy that Chet wanted. He wanted someone with a bit of oomph in them, someone with a bit of go. Because sales is about getting doors slammed in your face, guys. You're not going to win them all. You'll never win them all. But you won't win any if you don't step up to the plate and have a swing. All right. So that's my take on it, guys. And I'm like the Gordon Ramsay. I tell people in the UK, I'm the Gordon Ramsay of marketing with the same potty mouth. But in America, they all hate Tom Brady. I say I'm the Tom Brady of marketing. It's not my fault. I'm good at what I do. And I can take anyone's here. I can double anyone here in this room. I can double their business in 3 months or less, providing they do the work. And this is the problem I'm having at the moment with clients. Starting to tell them, I'm getting angry with them now and saying, you want me to come through the effing screen and come and run your business for you? Because if I do, I don't need you. If I'm going to come and run your motor mechanic shop for you, why the hell would I need you? Because what these people are doing, they're paying me a fee, and they're getting all, and you guys have had it, you've had it, John, they're getting all needy on me, like, oh, I'm going to solve their problem. Just because I paid Jeff a couple of $1,000, he's going to solve all my problems. No, we're going to solve them together. We're going to do things that are going to help you to grow your business back again to where you were. Get you some confidence back, rah, rah, rah. So that's my rant, guys. I'm on a rant because I've had a really shitty week. And I came to this late. Oh, well.
That story you told about Chet Holmes, it was a great story. I just wanted to add one part to that story because I love it so much too. It's when he was looking, he would ask for, I'm only looking for top performers.
Yes.
And then when he'd ask them, why did you apply? Why do you believe you're a top performer? And no matter what they said in their defense, the company's response was, well, I appreciate you coming in. I didn't hear top performer in what you said. Thank you very much. And to try to dismiss them because they felt that every top performer would defend that position. They would say, well, maybe you're deaf. Maybe I need to say it again. But anyone who wouldn't defend themselves, they would let go.
Absolutely.
Because top performers know they're top performers, so they defend their position. You can't convince a top performer that they're not. So that's fine. That's all I just wanted to add. I wanted to add that part to the story. Okay.
Yeah, one last one, guys. These things come to me as aberrations. And I've been saying to people lately, I change it all the time, but I've been saying to people lately, don't be a bloody pawn in the game of life. Do not be a pawn. We all know what happens to pawns if you play chess, right? I said, and I'm not a pawn. I've never been a pawn. I've always been a knight. You know what a knight does, guys? The knight's the best piece on the board because it jumps all over the place and go all different directions. And I consider myself a knight. All right. So that's my rant, guys. I'll let John come and defend himself now about this. And I don't agree with John's principle either, although it's a technique. And I appreciate good techniques. If they work, they work. But it won't work for me or you because it's not your style, Brian. Go ahead, John. I'm over to the defense. You can't handle the truth.
Now, Jeff, I'm just curious. How do you really feel about those people?
Well, no, I had a staff member, guys, someone I really trust, like a brother, right? And he gives me total lies, and I hate lies. I tell people, another one of my favorites is this: a thief will generally steal because he wants to eat or he's lazy. A liar, think about this, guys, a liar doesn't have to lie. He lies for no effing reason. He just lies because he's got no guts or wants to defend himself or whatever. But a thief, I can respect a thief because he's just lazy. He doesn't want to work, or, he wants to eat, whatever the case may be. But a liar has no excuse. My best guy lied to me, right? Went missing for 2 days, and I had 27 proposals. I had 27 people who'd reached out to me, spoken to me from 6 in the effing morning till 10 at night, 27 of them for the week, and he had not sent the effing proposals out. So how the hell can we get any money? And then people like Brian, you don't get a proposal for 5 days. You're thinking, this Jeff doesn't give a shit, right? You can't send people a proposal bloody 5 days later, right? Because, I heat them up. Most of my people make a decision within 24 hours, not 5, so I'm pissed off with the guy. So, yeah, I'm pissed off. And he's going to find out. He's going to find out more tomorrow how pissed off I really am. Back to John.
Thanks, Jeff. Now, for what Ryan had to say, I talk about selling without having to sell. And to back that up, it's instead of trying to sell to people, that shoving it right in their face like Jeff does, have a comfortable conversation with people. And by having a comfortable conversation with people, getting to know that person and understand them so that they feel understood by you. And when they feel understood, that's when they'll say, Brian, how do you do this? How can you help me?
Did we lose John?
Sorry, what's that?
You froze up for a minute.
Frozen for a second there.
Give people the opportunity to buy. Don't try to sell them. When they're given the opportunity to buy, that's when they want to know what you do. When you can answer and solve their problem, that's what they're interested in. They don't care, like Brian said, about your elevator pitch or anything. They want to know, can you solve my problem? And when you show them that you can solve their problem, that's when they want to do business with you. Now, Brian, I don't know if that was defending myself or not, but
you have a right to your thoughts on it. And John, thank you very much. I appreciate your position. Your position is right for you. It really is. Just like Jeff Bill didn't agree with my approach, but I still think my approaches are right. So it's okay for me. It's okay either way.
The biggest thing is we have to know who our markets are, who our target is, who we're selling to, and not just sell to the masses and hoping something sticks to the wall. Speaking of which, Jeff, question for you. Do Woolworths still exist, or did they go out of business?
Woolworths, back in Australia, they exist.
Yeah. They're grocery stores.
They're the monopoly, but and they kill off the guy who makes the milk. They kill off all the suppliers. They kill them off with giving them a pittance for their products and selling it for 10 times as much. That's Woolworths and Coles. A lot of people will try and boycott them, but if you need milk and it's 100 yards away, are you going to stick to your principles and drive 5 miles to get a carton of milk because it's not Woolworths? Most people have got no heart. They talk a big game but do nothing. We all know about
different
the system,
kind of Woolworths, Mary.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We call our Woolworths Walmart.
Yeah.
Your point is correct, Mary. In every environment, we can't sell the way we used to do it. I wrote my first book in 2016, and there's a whole chapter in that book I wouldn't even teach today, because people don't want to sell that way anymore. There's a whole chapter in how to follow up by phone, and I don't even teach that anymore because no one wants to. And I
What?
don't even teach it anymore. But I have a right to my thoughts too, Brother Jeff.
What
So
about
anyway,
what about follow up till they buy or die?
I believe you follow up and buy or die, but not the same way that we used to. We
Okay.
follow up forever, but not the way we used to. The way you follow up has to be different. So I love it, and I love this kind of conversation, and I love it
Absolutely.
so much that you can strike a nerve with me talking about sales, okay? Because I'm gonna defend my position, okay? It's 8:54. My podcast starts at 9. I got to get out of here, fellas. But I appreciate you guys helping me with my challenge earlier today. That's what I come here for, because I need your iron. I need your thoughts, and I appreciate you all. Thank you.
You're doing it right, my friend. Have a good
Amen.
podcast.
See you,
God bless you all.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work. You
Yeah,
know,
but
anybody.
back to my point for a moment, guys. When I told those 20 people, I reached out to a lot of people during the week. I told 20 people who were struggling to go to that, for want of a better word, horrible word, pitch party, but it's not my word, it's an American word, right? And none of them went. And then they're all still crying to me today. And I just shake my head and I think, and I mentally I crossed them all off my list. I thought, loser, you know, you want my help. I tell you how to help yourself a bit, right? And then what happens? You don't even make an effort. Or I get people
Jeff?
say, yes,
Can I say something about easy ways?
yes, please.
It's not for everyone.
Absolutely. But the 20
It's
didn't go,
not
they
for
didn't go,
everyone.
they didn't go to have a look, Mary. 20 out of 20, Yvonne. 20 out of 20 never even went to look. I agree with you. It's not for everyone. That's why I say to people,
Yeah.
peel back the onion
Yes,
and
I
see
was
it.
a member and I couldn't stand it. It's not my style at
No,
all.
fair enough. But
It's not.
Yvonne, the difference is, listen to what you're saying. You tried it. That's why
Yeah.
you're a
I did.
winner. That's why you're a winner. Think about it for a second. You tried it because you're a winner, because you try things. You try, you buy, or you don't buy. You adjust. You take the same as John. John's been to a few of these things I've recommended, and we've discussed it. And John says, I don't like it, but I do like it. It's just a matter of opinion, right? And I don't like the pitch concept either. However, if I get in there and I make 3 sales, I'm extremely happy. Thank you very much. And there were 3 really high quality clients who I want to work with. It's such a pleasure. And you know this, Stephen. Sometimes you get a client, you think, oh, should I, shouldn't I? I'll take this person. And in your gut, you know you shouldn't take them. And then, you know, a month in, you're tearing your hair out. As I said, I'm getting them starting to want me to come and run their business for them. And I'm getting frustrated because that's not what I promised. I'm delivering what I promised. I didn't promise extra. You know, I'll jump on a plane and come. I said, I'll come and run your business for you. You know.
Well, they can always pay you as a consultant.
No, they can't pay me enough. They don't pay me enough as it is. You know. Think about it, Yvonne. I'm 75 and I'm prepared to get up at 6 in the morning and work till 10 or 11 at night. How many other people do you know would do that? You know, they tell me, I can't go to that podcast, Jeff. It's 10 o'clock at night. And I go, yeah, and your point is?
Well, we had an appointment, Jeff, but I didn't know it was 2:30 a.m. There's no way I am going to do a meeting at 2:30 a.m.
I sign clients up at 2:30 a.m. in the morning regularly.
But that's it. You got to put the work in. There is no easy button in business. You have to build it yourself. And that's where a lot of people struggle is they think they can, you know, start a business out of nowhere and not have the groundwork in place. I, work with so many businesses that don't have a plan together, don't have a marketing idea, have no idea about
all the above
anything. And you need to put that foundation down. Otherwise, you're just talking.
The foundation is so important. That's the key to it, Mary. The foundation. This is one of my things I preach. I said we can't do anything without a strong foundation. And I tell people, you build a house, you've got a plumber, electrician, a painter, a roofer, a landscaper, and more. 18 people build a house, and here you are. You're a baker or a bloody motor mechanic. You're trying to run a business by yourself. Get in the bloody back room and make bread, and I'll make you the dough. You know, or if you're a plumber, you're going to be under the bloody sink. You haven't got time to do your marketing. Let someone who knows what they're doing do your marketing, and you become the biggest and best plumber in your country or whatever. Marketing is not hard, guys. Just a matter of doing.
Unfortunately, many of them don't even know the word marketing. They don't understand. So
They think it's a cost,
takes
not investment.
education.
Yeah, but we're not there to educate them. We try our best, Yvonne. We try our
Sometimes you
best.
have to.
We try.
Right.
Anyway, my time is up. I have to
Yeah,
go.
I got to run, guys. I got another call here in a minute.
All right.
Appreciate everybody
Thanks, everybody.
for coming up.
Good luck,
Jeff,
John.
you
See
were on
y'all.
a roll this morning for sure. Goodbye, everybody.
I'm
Nice
always
seeing
on
you
a. I'm
again.
on a roll. I should be on a sandwich, but that's another story.
He was lit today. All
Bye,
right, we'll see
bye
y'all.
for now, everybody.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.